Hi Scrubs, hope you're well. So this video was requested by Black Winter, who asked me, is there anything about the MyStable upgrade that you don't like? So I had a good think about this because there are a few things that I'm not too keen on. The main one, and I think this has bugged a lot of people, is the fact that your horses move around depending on whatever horse you're riding, which automatically then gets assigned to the stable. So if I switch to riding Rukia right now, then it would be her that would be displayed here instead of Rain. And that kind of is a bit of annoying because for a long time I actually did keep all of my horses in here. I had all 18 in all 18 boxes. And I put them all into the pasture a couple of days ago, bar these three that I have out at the moment. And the main reason for that was it was kind of pointless having them in the boxes because they kept, being switched around and changed all the time. And I was running up and down trying to remember, okay, who's where, and it was sort of like, it's a bit pointless when it would be much easier to be able to go over and simply like click here and, switch them around if I so want. A couple of people were asking as well is how you move horses to and from the pasture. It's literally a case, if you want to take them out of the pasture, you drag and drop them here. And that would be how you would move them. And if you want to put one in the pasture, then you click on the nameplate, click on the horse, drag and drop. And then they're back out again. So I like that part. It's quite easy. It's a lot easier than the old way we used to send them away and come back. It's a lot quicker. So I like that. In terms of what I'm not so keen on, and I didn't actually realise this, and I think a lot of us kind of figured this out, later on. We get pasture for free now. Unlike whenever we used to send them off to Horse Island, you had to pay for that. But you still have to care for the horses in the pasture. They're not automatically looked after, and that is a bit annoying. It's okay if you're using stable care, but if you have a lot of horses and you're manually caring for them, Horse Island offers you the opportunity to pay a little bit and then leave them there for as long as you want, and they would be, looked after to a certain level of care, whereas that's not the case now, and you have to care for them. You can't just leave them in the pasture and forget about them, because you need to make sure you're caring for them either through stable care or bringing them in, grooming them, feeding them, and then putting them back out again. Although you could argue that's a more realistic element that's just been added really to the game and makes it more realistic than maybe Horse Island would have been. The other thing that I'm annoyed about is I can't eat food in here. This table does not let me set food down. I know that's like a really silly thing, but it's the truth. I don't know if there's anything else that bothers me really about the stables, to be completely honest. The one thing that was, I think at the start annoyed me a little bit was whenever I used to go into a stall and I would open the door would stay open. But now what happens is it closes automatically. And what tends to happen is I go in to get on a horse. Actually, I'll demonstrate this because it would probably, make more sense. Okay, so say I want to take Rukia out, go in, I get on, and I'm just about to walk out, and the door closes on me. And I know it's not a big thing, but it's a wee bit annoying sometimes, because then I get stuck on the door for a little bit. I've kind of learned now, and I just wait, get on the horse, wait, and then reopen the stable door at that point. I mean, there's nothing major, really, at this point that's really bothering me with MyStable. I'm quite happy with it. I think it looks absolutely stunning. I think really the biggest thing, and I think it's for me and a lot of other people, is the fact that the stalls move around, and I would like the option to turn that off, if at all possible. Because it would be nice even if you could just assign, most of the boxes and have two that were maybe, not so much for assigning, I don't know. Because it just seems a little bit silly that they move around so much. I haven't, a couple of people asked me, have I got one of the new Mustangs? I haven't. But we could go and look now, actually, I guess. We could go and see them. I have already been to see them, but I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about them. And I'm going to bring Rain with me for this, so we'll go now and have a look. Okay, so we had 3 new Mustangs that arrived. We had a Blue Roan, a Bay Roan, and a Leopard Spotted as well. So, I have the Pinto, obviously, being Rain, so over here we have the Blue Roan, who I think is very pretty. I was slightly tempted by this, but I was like, it looks like another grey, and I can't really dignify it, so I was like, nope, won't get a Blue Roan. But the Blue Roan is very nice. I really do like it. The other one, which is the Bay Roan over here, she's very pretty as well. I really like her. She's a very nice one. The only thing I would have liked a little bit of, like with the Bay that has the white, snip on it, and just a wee bit more white markings, because you do tend to get some broken markings on Mustangs, so I just would have liked maybe a little bit more. Because I think sometimes it just takes that to break it up a little bit. And then you have the Leopard Spotted Leopard over here, and it's quite nice, but it's not entirely my cup of tea. And I know it's been very, very popular because I've seen a huge amount of people with it. What I would have absolutely gone mad for if they'd done it was to do a spotted blanket. I love the blanket Appaloosas, they're my favourite, with some spots on it. It's kind of similar to the Frisian Sport that's in Fort Pinta, that has the blanket spotted on it. If they'd done that in the Mustang, I would have been down here and I would have been like, take my money. Basically, that would have been it. It would have been a lost battle. I wouldn't be surprised if we maybe eventually get a dun one or a buckskin, because it would kind of be like Spirit. So I don't know. I don't know what other colours we might possibly get, maybe in the Mustangs. It could be a long time before we get any more, but I think out of the 3 ones that have arrived, my favourite, even though I really, really like grey looking horses, is probably going to be the Roan, actually. I think the Roan would have probably been a pick out of them, but I think for me, I still like the Pinto more. And I think it's just because I have so many solid coloured horses, I just want something with a wee bit of broken colour on it. And that was, you know, that kind of my general thoughts. So I know, like, a couple of people were saying to me when I got them the Pinto, you know, you should have waited some more colours. And I was like, yeah, but I really liked her. So I'm kind of like, it's okay. There wasn't one that arrived that I was like, I need that one so much more than the ones that were there. But honestly, if they bring out a spotted blanket Appaloosa type one, I'm done for. That's really what will happen. I don't know if we might get a snowflake one, or I don't know. There's a lot of options there colour wise. Actually, do you know what would be really nice as well? Like a Perlino or a Carmelo Mustang would be quite nice as well. That would, I think that would, it would be like a mini Ghost. It would be cute. There's a lot of options there, StarStable. Just, you know, hint hint. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you to Black Winter for the question about MyStable. Anyway, scrubs, I hope you had a lovely day. Bye!